welcome to G.A.S, which is an acronym for Gray and Sexy. As a matter of fact, my grandson asked me the other day, Grandma, how'd you come up with an interview called G.A.S? So I said, Robert, I'm 80 years old. He says, stop, you don't have to explain anymore. So Gray and Sexy, though, is the real word for G.A.S. So here we go, and welcome to G.A.S, where we interview people between the ages of 70 and 110. I have gone up to 109, still looking for 110. And today we have with us a very special guest who has performed in the past, and I imagine you're still performing in different aspects of the field, but your field was in theater, TV, comedy, drama, singing, dancing, etc. But I myself believe that the most proud of what you have done and what you are doing now is Born to Act, which we will get to in the future and come back to it. But let's go back to the past. Tell me a little bit about your past, Mary. It's so good to have you. Mary Rings from Born to Act.
Oh, thank
Friend
you.
I love her to death. Go ahead.
I love you too. And I'm thrilled to be here. Well, yes, I grew up in Michigan till the age of 12. And I always wanted to be an actress. That's the only thing I ever wanted to be. And my mom had my sisters and I take dance lessons, and we performed in shows, and we sang and danced. But it wasn't until we moved, my parents actually moved to California for me, to Los Angeles.
Right.
When I was in ninth grade. And that's where I started acting. I had an acting class and I loved it. Edith Hecht was my instructor, the drama instructor at James Madison Junior High. And she was Deanna Durbin's sister. And
really?
Yeah, and she loved me and I loved her, and she supported me. My parents had me start doing shows outside of school. They would drive me to auditions and started doing plays, and she would send me telegrams and send me flowers, and she was so supportive, and she would come to the shows. And then I went on to high school and I did theater there, and I won some awards, and I kept doing theater outside of school too. And then I joined the Company of Angels and did more theater, started doing television and film. And I love, at the time I kept thinking, why aren't I getting bigger parts? Why aren't I getting more parts? But looking back on it, I'm so thrilled with what I was able to do. I did a couple $6 million mans.
Absolutely. I don't know when you took a breath. My God.
I did a bunch of television, and I always had scenes with the stars, and that was amazing. Like I had a baby in a restaurant on Emergency, and Julie London and Robert Fuller delivered the baby, and which was pretty cool.
I never knew that.
Yeah, and I did 3 Dr. Quinn Medicine Women. And I had a scene with Jane Seymour. She applauded my close-up. That was so awesome. And I did a Gunsmoke, and I had a very significant role in that, and worked with Ken Curtis, who played Festus. And my $6 million mans, I did 2 of them. I had a scene with what's his name? The star of the show, the $6 million man.
Right. Remember what age? Well, I
had a wonderful scene with him, and he was very nice. And then I did another one, and I had a scene with Captain Kirk. What's his name? Oh boy.
I know his name. Believe me, I do. What's his
William
name?
Shatner. William Shatner. I had a scene with William Shatner, and he was wonderful to me. And
was he really? He was
so into his role. He could make people, he had been to outer space, and he could kill people with his mind. And he killed a friend of mine in the restaurant that I was talking to, who was a police officer. And so then I was weeping, and then Steve Austin came in and interviewed me about that. So I had really some emotional roles. I feel so blessed to have done the work that I did. And
well, that is incredible. And what made you leave the opportunity of going even further in the field?
Well,
I mean,
I,
you've been awfully far. So, the percentage of actors and actresses that go that far are very small.
well, I did take care of my father who had Alzheimer's, and my mother passed away, and I had two little children, and so I started, going on. I kept going on interviews during the day, but then I did waitressing at night, singing waitressing, and
Oh, my
um,
goodness.
yep. And then I had my beautiful son Casey Powell, who has Down syndrome, and he always, I knew that he was interested in, theater, but there were no acting classes. And a friend of mine said, I want to give back. I want you to take over my wife's studio, her nutritional studio in North Hollywood on Saturdays for free, and start an acting class for Casey and some of his friends. So I did. And I was talking to Casey's best friend, Blair Williamson, whose mom is Gail Williamson, and she's been a force in the business. And at the time I told her, I said, I want to start a, acting class for Casey. And she said, Mary, I'll help get you students. And she did. She'd been working for Media Access, and then she was the head of the Down Syndrome Association of Los Angeles. And now she's a big agent with KMR. And
Let
she
me ask
gets,
you a question. Let me ask
mm,
you, was this that gave you the impetus to start Born to Act?
it was,
And
I had no idea. I had no idea. I thought it was just going to be an acting class for who knows how long. And I had 8 students originally. And we met on Saturdays. It did that for a year, and then we took a short break. And I didn't want to take a break, but they said, "Well, we'll take off, for the summer." And I knew I was going to lose some students. But when we came back, I only had Blair, who still loved it, and Christine Johnson, and my son Casey. And so I started teaching in my apartment building. There was a rec room, and the manager said I could have it on Saturday mornings. I started teaching the 3 of them. We did like a year. And then I started getting more and more students.
my
And
question, at that point, um, was Casey involved 100% as far as being a part of the classes at that time?
oh, always, yes, always. He's been with me from day one, and so is Blair Williamson. We're talking now 26, 20, going into 27 years
That's
of
how
Born
long
to Act players.
that's how long your organization has been in uh, together.
And Joan, there's so many amazing things about it. One is that so many of my students have been working professionally. They're trained, they're talented, they're confident, and they've been getting parts in the in television and film and commercials and PSAs. And I'm so proud of them. My son has his Screen Actors Guild card, and he's worked with big stars, and a lot of my students have. Jamie Brewer from American Horror Story was my student till she got American Horror Story. She's walked the red carpet at the Emmys. She did a Broadway play that was written for her in New York. She's the first Down syndrome actress to ever do runway in New York from Fashion Week.
Right.
Um, and
I'll tell you
John
something.
Tucker from Born This Way, my student till he got Born This Way.
I really, I used
And
to
I'm
watch
so
that all the
proud
time.
of them. Did you used to watch it?
I watched it. It's not on anymore. I don't
No, it
believe.
got a lot of Emmys, though. It was a great show. John
Oh,
Tucker was the black rapper, dancer, singer who's so big personality. And he was in Born to Act Players till he got Born This Way. He's wonderful. And his mom, Joyce, who's a doll.
I know.
And they all,
It's amazing.
Jamie and Casey and John all got this pilot that they did in Canada, which was Michael Patrick King, Sex and the City, was the writer, producer. It was a big deal. And it was Lonnie Anderson was in it, 2 weeks in Canada. It's amazing. And I know that they're changing the world because nobody realizes how funny they are, how smart they are, how sweet they are, how talented they are. Now they're really getting a chance to show the world, what they can do and who they are, which I think they're more like angels than anything else. They're
Let me
sweeter.
let me tell you something, Mary. You know, when I first began to volunteer every now and then for Born to
Yes.
Act, and I saw you put together a show, and I was in such awe. I was so amazed how you did all of this. Most of it is done by yourself. You have Glenn, who is someone who works with you, but it was you and Glenn that put this show together, and with the help of some of the assistants. And I just out came this show that was so good. People in the audience too, they were in awe what they were able to do, and how you helped them to perform. You were so patient, and I to this day I can't believe how you have achieved so much with all of these children.
Well, I
And
love it so much, Joan. It's so much fun.
excuse me, I keep saying children. I'm sorry. It's kids and adults. A lot of it adults over the age of 25.
But there
So,
are kids.
excuse me.
There are kids, you know, I love them so much. I feel like they're all mine, but
Sure.
I adore them.
My
And you know what?
50-year-old. Go ahead.
The other amazing thing is, besides, you know, how they're getting work and changing the world and doing brilliant work, is the change that we see happen in so many of them. They come, they're insecure, they don't express themselves well. And then they start dancing and singing and learning quotes and doing scene work and improvisation. And suddenly their confidence grows and they blossom as people. We see them change. We see them um, change a lot. And I cannot believe how many students I've been able to keep for like 18 years, 20 years,
Yeah, that's the whole
22
thing.
years. That's amazing.
It's I've just been there for about 2.5 years, and I've seen kids and adults that come, and they're being taught how to act on stage, and bring forth comedy and bring forth drama, and they're so into it and they're so proud of themselves. But I see how they started. They were even afraid to go on stage. And then the
Absolutely.
next week you got them on the stage, and the next week you got them into doing other things that proceeded into them being part of a show. It was unbelievable to me, and it still is. Every day that I see you work, it is.
Oh, you're sweet.
So
The only fear that my students have is not enough time on stage. And you know that's true. That's the
I
only
know.
fear they have. Yep. They love it. They want to be on stage. They are really in love with acting. They're in love with Shakespeare. They get their musical what they love musically, you know, amped, and they start learning about musical comedy songs. Maybe they only did like rap or something, but now they have a much bigger vocabulary and love of music and things like Shakespeare. You know, usually you would think that students, when you say, okay, we're going to do Shakespeare today, they would go, oh, really? My students go, yay, yes, Shakespeare, good, wonderful. And, you know, Mike Rice, here's been the thing with Zoom. I was so reluctant to do classes on Zoom because I didn't think that that was what acting was. And then I heard a Bon Jovi song that said, when you can't do what you do. When you can't do what you do what you can. And that spoke to my heart. And I
You
thought,
certainly have proven that it's true. And I'll
and,
tell
and
you something.
Zoom. I mean, Mike Rice, he's in Hawaii. He was in my class for a couple years. His parents moved to Hawaii like 7 years ago. And his mom found out about my class. He's back 2 days a week, taking 2 classes every week with me. And he always has a Shakespeare book with him in his hand. And his mom bought him a Shakespeare costume. And I mean, he's in love with William Shakespeare. And it does my heart so much good. And I have Down syndrome students, I have autistic students who have blossomed also. And I used to have some blind, I've had CP, I've had seizure disorder. But I'll tell you what, we have a big love in our community. We love each other. We support each other. We care about each other, and our time together is so precious. You know, we
Absolutely.
miss being together physically, but to hear their voices and to see their faces and to be able to do acting with them still on Zoom is quite remarkable. I think it's incredible.
It's something that I also noticed as the time went on. I didn't realize, because I was getting to know a lot of the kids. in the actually, when I started, I didn't realize that there were also some autistic children in
Yes.
class that seem to meld very good with these kids, and they're a help too. So that was also interesting.
It is interesting. It's fascinating. And I mean, I love the fact that our parents are friends and they are friends and they, you know, that we celebrate birthdays together and we it's a community, you know, it's more than just an acting class. It's really a community. And the Born to Act players, well, I started out with one class a week and now I have a Saturday class and a Sunday class, and Tuesday I'm teaching like a semi-private class. I have a Wednesday class with
My
most of the people
question,
are from San Diego. Yes.
I have a question. And this is how you expanded throughout the years, and it's been over 25 years now. The thing
Yes.
I want to know, Mary, is this: there is so much more that I believe that can be done with Born to Act. The money is a problem. Money is a problem in almost every charity. I've worked with several charities, and that's what holds back a lot of research. That's what holds back a lot of what you want to do. And I believe that after all these years, uh, something can be done to make this group more well known throughout the United States and be able to grow into something that's even bigger than it is now. And we can do this, Mary, if we can give the information of how to get in touch with you. Number one, with your website, and how any other things. You know what? The other thing I wanted to say is also to recommend when the shows are. These people that will call you, you can tell them when the next show is, or when they email you. So
Of
what?
course. You know, and Joan, you're right. When people come to see them, oftentimes they are weeping for joy at the end of the show because they
They
cannot
absolutely
believe.
are.
They
And
cannot
they're
believe.
laughing too because there's comedy
Yeah.
involved, and
And
they're
they
part
cannot
of that.
believe how these kids are shining like diamonds, how confident they are and how they command everything and how incredibly confident and wonderful they are. They are moved beyond words and that makes me thrilled. I mean, I have people come up and say, "This is the best show I've ever seen." I mean, and they're sincere, you know. It's
I
like,
know, I know.
"Whoa."
Well, that's the way I felt too. I mean, I till today, I still can't believe. And you know, it takes a person like you. I mean, not everybody can do what you do, Mary. You are so talented in other situations. I'm not
Oh,
trying to
thank
build
you.
you up. You're already there. But I'm just saying, you have so much talent. It needs a certain type of person like you to run a class like you run the class and have the patience you do. What I would like you to do now, so we don't go off air without you saying where they can get in touch and
Ah,
when
yes.
and see the videos or whatever.
Our website is www.borntoactplayers.com. And there's videos they can see on the website and interviews from some of my assistants and pictures of past shows. It's a wonderful website, and
Good.
my
And
sweetheart
and
Akram does it.
I'd love to be able to have a list be developed of people that will be interested in contributing, which is
Oh,
very important. It
there's a
doesn't have to be a lot. Go ahead.
of course there's a donate button on the website, and also there's a place where they can leave remarks. And if they want a call, you know, they can leave their number or their email or whatever. That'd be great.
But that's it. If you we can do this. I mean, you handle so many of these adults and kids. You need to have other people. This is going to build, and it should build. There's I don't believe there's anything else like this
I'm
as
so
far.
blessed. I'm so blessed to have found this work that I love so much. I'm so blessed. I mean, I love acting, I love singing, I love dancing, but seeing them shine is like worth everything. It means the world to me. And you know, our population was so mistreated for so many years, and
That
unbelievable.
you're talking about the Down syndrome
Special needs kids.
special.
Yeah. We're told like, I mean, it's unbelievable. And
They are special people. They're
they are.
love. I mean, I to this day, even during COVID, I get emails every now and then from the kids, and it's so heartwarming to me. And I try to elongate the text that we do with each other because I love hearing what they're doing. The thing this show was developed for, Mary, was for people not to give up after they get over a certain age. Can you tell your age, or would you rather not?
I'm 72. Yeah, sure.
Oh my God. Uh, yeah. I, I didn't know your age. And the fact of the matter is, what you do, a lot of people that are watching this show can do. And it's not only, I'm not talking about the entertainment part of it. I'm talking about getting involved somehow in these charities. Listen, we're all in distress with COVID-19. We want to know what we can do. Sit home, figure it out. Don't just sit there. Become useful. Even if you're at home, become useful. And that's what this program is about. This lady here is an enigma. I mean, there's nobody that can do what she does. But anyway, this has been really a terrific visit. And I want to ask you something, Mary. The
Yes, my
next
love.
time we get together, I would like very much for you to bring Casey on. Would that be possible?
Of course. Oh, he would love it. Are you kidding? He would love it.
I would love to have him on the show.
He would love it.
Show people what can be brought out if you give these kids the chance. And I thank you so much for being with us today. And hopefully we'll be able to do it again soon.
That would be lovely. The show must go on, right?
The show must go on.
Amen.
I love you.
I love you. I love you. Mwah. Thank you so much, honey.
Sweetheart.
God bless you. Thank
Bye,
you.
everybody.
Perfect.
Come to G.A.S.
Yeah.
My audience, welcome to G.A.S, Gray and Sexy.
Woo-woo.
And I'm going to start with Mary Rings, who has been a visitor on our show. And we enjoyed her so much and the things that she has accomplished and what she has done, that we are going to show you and add to our list of very special people that we're getting on here, Casey Powell. And Casey is Mary's son. Mary, can you bring Casey in to
Absolutely. Come on, honey. Right here next to me.
Yeah.
This is Casey.
First, this is Casey Powell. I adore him. He's got a personality. My whole family is in comedy, and I like speaking with people who have the sense of humor, who has the ability to understand a joke. And we have that with that person with us today, Casey. Casey, Mary, tell me a little bit about Casey first, and then we're going to go on to Casey.
Well, Casey is an original member of Born to Act Players. He's been with me all we're going on 27 years now. And he loves acting, and he loves performing. He loves basketball. He loves a lot of things, and he's a sweetheart. He's the sweetest person ever.
And what caused you, just quickly tell us what caused you to start Born to Act?
Well, a friend of mine, a very dear friend of mine, offered me a space and said he thought I should teach Casey and some of his friends. And then
wait there. Why?
Well, he and I, this man, Dennis Hart, Patrick Dennis Hart, we had done theater together, and he had done some agenting, and he wanted to give back, he said. And
what are you doing specifically? Tell the audience, because this is not an add-on to what you've done, but like a new show. Just tell us why are you doing this, and what gave you the impetus to do it?
Well, being offered a space, and then I had another friend who offered to help get me students, and I thought, this is what God wants me to do. I really felt that I was called to do this, and And it
For
has
what
turned
reason?
out to be
For,
the best
for,
thing
Ca-
ever.
for Casey?
Well, Casey had seen me and his father do lots of theater and all growing up, and he's always been a fan of music and performances. And I knew he would love it. And sure enough, it was became like the highlight of all of our lives.
Well, I am happy to have Casey with us today. And Casey, you must be very proud of your mother that's started this organization and you're a very big part of, very big part of.
Yeah. I say I am. I'm very happy about that. Totally.
Yes. Casey, do you mind telling us your age or would you rather keep that a secret?
Well, I've been keeping it a secret. I wouldn't tell anybody a big deal.
Oh, okay. Then we won't tell everybody you're 94, okay?
No, I'm 40. And this
Oh, you're 40. All
yes.
right. All right. You know, the things that I want to talk to you about, Casey, today are your likes and maybe some of your dislikes. But first, we want to go on to your likes. You and I spoke on the phone this week and just talked about some of the things that you enjoy. And basketball was one of your sports. Is that correct?
Yes. I see. I see. It is. It is.
Yeah. Do you like bowling? You said you like bowling. What do you like to do
Well,
better?
I see. I like to do both, but I can't. I can't pick one. I'm very good. I'm very good. I'm in basketball, and I'm very good about bowling as well too.
Right, but within these hobbies, your real like is acting, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yes, well, you've certainly had the right teacher and a very convenient one, your mother, who has been an actress for many, many years and
I know.
still devotes her time to
I
teaching.
know. I know.
Casey has a Screen Actors Guild card, Joan, and he's
Uh.
done movies and he's done television. He did a pilot in Canada for 2 weeks.
Casey, tell me about the names of these.
I got this job. You know, I'm very happy in doing that because they asked me the things that you want to do on the pilot. So I had to do that. Then we will go to in the play and go to character. And so I had to do that. They had a filming because doing my show. So
What is
I think
what is the first one that you did actually get up and act? Was it a television? What is it? YouTube?
I'm doing a movie. It's called the horror film movie.
That wasn't the
A
name of it.
horror
What was the name
film?
of it?
It's called Ghouls.
The Ghouls.
Ghouls? I'll have to watch that one. Is it on? Maybe it's on the Netflix or one of
It's on
those.
something. It is. It's
Yeah.
around.
And you also were in a show called Switch to at Birth, is it?
Yes. Yeah. I did that. Yeah.
How did you enjoy? What part did you play?
Oh man, it's so good. They ask me to laugh and have fun. And I was like, and then when you were doing the girl uh, from 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 Glee, and it's
From
like
what? From Glee. Oh, that's right. She was in that show, right?
yes,
Switched at birth. And I believe your mom told me that. And see, I saw the shows, but it's been a while and I don't remember her. But you said, Mary, I believe that she was the one that played that blonde cheerleader in Hair.
Yes, yes. Lauren
Right.
Potter, she's darling. Yeah.
yeah.
Right. Well, the first time you were on one of these shows, Casey, were you at all nervous, like
No.
anybody else going on?
No, not really. I love doing that. I really loved it. But
And
and then it says I got that. Everybody loved it. Everybody keep watching of me. It's like you're so good. You're really good at it. So I had to do that. So it's cool.
oh, that is cool.
Switched at Birth, Joan, it was such a great part. He's in like a restaurant, and and he's playing a game and he's laughing, and a manager tells him that he'll have to leave. We just lost your picture, Joan. I don't know why.
Uh, hold on.
Sure.
Russ? Russ? Oh my God.
Sure.
There you are. You're back. But and the manager tells him, because it's obviously brought in like his own juice and his own snacks, and the manager and people are looking at him, but he's just oblivious. He's just having a good time, and the manager tells him he'll have to leave, and or just stop laughing or whatever. And he takes his game away in case he gets really upset and really mad. And then the guy's threatening like to call the police, and a young man, very wonderful actor, regular on Switched at Birth, who was Sharpay's brother in High School Musical, he stepped in and said, let me handle it, let me talk to him. And he had a son with Down syndrome on the show, so he shows Casey a picture of him and talks him down. And then Lauren Potter says, you were supposed to wait for me, Harrison. And it's such a great part. It's got so many different emotions that Casey got to play. It was very exciting.
Again, we can catch that, I believe, on YouTube. I'll tell you the truth. When I act, and I used to do a lot of acting back east when I was very young in Philadelphia, and I was always mostly improv type person, where I didn't have to remember too many lines. Give me improv and I'll do it for you. Give me a bunch of scripts and I'll be studying them, but getting no sleep. So you, Casey, are, I do a little assisting at Born to Act, and Casey does the improvs, and very, very does them very well. He comes up with things that are unbelievable. If we need to have the conflict, he has the conflict. If he needs to be a good person, he's a good person. And you do those improvs very well. Do you have at all a problem in memorizing certain scenes that you're doing and not improv?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm telling the truth. If I'm doing that, it's all sort of in the conflict. In other conflict, that means that I can't talk to people.
But you're in the what? I didn't catch the word. You said you're in the for memory.
Yes.
Oh,
he works really hard. I cue him. We study the parts.
Oh, is that the way you do it?
When he has to memorize, we rehearse and rehearse and rehearse. Yeah.
Yes.
That's good. There's nothing wrong with that, but I'm sure you remember your lines when you're up to doing them. And I hear that you have that you're close with your family, even though you don't see them a lot, Casey. But you have a brother in Oregon, Tyler, and can you tell me a little bit about Tyler and the kind of relationship that you have with him?
Well, actually, he's a little older than me. I'm a baby. I'm in his family.
I see. How many are you? You just have the one brother? Do you have more?
Yeah.
But you're the baby.
Yeah, I am.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. So does he like acting at all? Or is
yeah, he does.
He does?
Yeah, he does.
Does he act, Mary?
He used to do some theater, and he loves acting also. He's done quite a bit of theater, and he was a teacher, and now he's homeschooling his daughter. And he's a writer. He's been published. He writes poetry. He writes short stories. He's won awards and contests. He's super talented.
So both of your sons are talented.
They are.
Oh, yes, we are.
Casey was in a Def Leppard music video too, Joan. Did you know that?
What? Say that again, please.
A Def Leppard music video. He was in that too. It was a song called Goodbye.
Yes, I did that.
One of these days I'll have to hear that, Casey.
Pretty.
Casey, do you, if I'm going to ask you a little personal thing, and you don't have to answer this either, but I'd love to know if you dated all, or have you been dating?
Well, actually, not really, but I'm fine. I'm happy. I'm a great mood. I'm very happy.
You used to date a couple girls.
I
So,
know. Well, in his class, I know that, I noticed the girls looking at him, but I don't think he sees that. And you are a good looking young man.
oh,
And,
thank you.
and I'm glad that you're happy with what you do and the friendships that you have within Born to Act is amazing. Everybody seems to care an awful lot about you, Casey, and that's very important in life. I'm a people lover to an extent, but of course I have my boundaries. But I see that that you take after your mom. I know your dad very well, but I'm talking about affectionately. Am I correct? Your mom, affectionate person,
Yeah.
and do you accept this affection with the same love to her?
Yeah, last year I really do.
Yeah, I love my son. He's the sweetest kid ever. He's so nice and
I
he's so
know he is.
charming.
I know he is. That's why I'm not going to do many shows like this, but I just care about him a lot. And I wanted him with you on here to show you what kind of a handsome, intelligent, talented person that he is.
Aw,
And
bless your heart.
we're all seeing this. Do you have anything coming up in the near future, Casey, as far as acting is concerned?
Well, I know right now, but if I was, honestly, I think my answer is yes. But I can't do it right now
Born
because,
to Act show, right? When we get a chance to get back to the church.
yeah,
Oh yeah, that's been again, and I'm going to say this to my audience, because of COVID and everything that's going on, I don't know when we're going to view these, but of course it'll be in the next 6 months or so. The thing is that, you talk too much about COVID and people want to forget it. So I try to leave a lot of it out. But yeah, we'll be back at the church soon, won't we?
I know we will. Yes.
I mean, do you still have that option to go back?
Oh, sure, of course.
Oh,
Yes,
good,
mm-hmm.
yeah,
good.
but me, and my mom, we were saying about the kids, because the kids asking many times. So, but mom said, no, we really talk about it yet. We'll let them know right now, but we can't do it because mama have emailed to them what's going
They're
on.
so
So yeah,
anxious. Our members are so anxious to get back. They keep saying, when are we getting back? And I keep saying everything that the church is doing now is on Zoom,
right. Listen,
everything.
we also talked about that you have two sisters, right?
Yes, I do.
And you said, which is amazing today in today's life, I guess. Although I used to speak, God rest her soul, to my sister all the time. But you
Yeah.
talk to your sister every day, and
Every day,
Casey
both of
does
them.
too. And
Casey does too. Yeah, they love to talk to Casey. Sometimes they call and they just say, Mr. Powell there. They don't even talk to me.
yeah, their nephew.
I am.
Do you have a relationship with their cousins at all, or are any of them around your age? Or
Well, yes and no, because they're more older now.
When we go back, we all get together. When we go back to Michigan, it's wonderful. Casey loves the big family, and they live in the country in Michigan. It's so beautiful. And, we have like pontoon rides on down rivers and campfires and
Oh
where we
yes.
tell ghost stories, sit around the fire, and it's just wonderful. It's beautiful life.
what I'd like you to do, Mary, since this might be the first show that somebody watches and they don't see the first show with you,
Yeah.
do you mind giving us a little bit of your background when
No, of
you were?
course.
Please do.
Well, I grew up in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and my mom and dad were very supportive of me and my sisters, and we had all kinds of lessons, tap lessons, modern jazz, and baton, and we sang and danced professionally. And when I moved to California, we finally did when I was in the beginning of ninth grade, and I started doing theater and started acting and fell in love with acting. I mean, I love, love,
Give
love to act.
give us a couple of shows that you were on a series of many years ago.
Yeah, I did a couple different $6 Million Mans, and I did a couple of Dr. Quinn Medicine Women, and I did Emergency. I had a baby in a restaurant on Emergency. And I did a Gunsmoke, which was really, really super fun. They were all amazing. And I did a Wonder Woman. I had to stand between the beautiful Linda Carter and Linda Day George. That was no
Oh,
fun.
you
But,
were up to that, Mary. You
Mm.
still would be. And,
but I loved, and I got to do a movie made for television for Universal called Evening in Byzantium, and it had a little scene with Shirley Jones and Glenn Ford. I,
wow.
at the time, I kept thinking, why aren't I getting bigger parts? Why aren't I getting more parts? But now looking back, I'm so thankful for what I was able to do, and the great, big stars that I was able to work with, and I feel so blessed. And
How many, and you know as well as I do that the percentage of people that actually perform on television or in the movies, the percentage is not even a 1 full%. It's below 1%. So you really had quite a background of
well,
theater.
I'm thrilled with it
television.
now.
Excuse me?
I'm thrilled with it now in hindsight,
Yeah, well, we're never happy. It's like my son is a writer. He always said he was executive producer on many shows, but he always wanted to say, well, I could do better than this. He was never happy. Most people in the theater are that way. Nothing
But-
is can compare to what they're thinking that they would like to be.
But you know what I'm so excited about? The Born to Act players are really changing the
Mhm.
world for the better, because, they were not given chances for so many years.
When you say they, who are they?
Well, people with Down syndrome, people with disabilities, misunderstood, Asperger's, autism, seizure disorders. They were not trained, and having them be trained, they have gained so much confidence and so many skills, and we do improv all the time. They learn how to express themselves. We do
Right.
dance, we do music, we do Shakespeare, we do all of these great things, and so many of my students have their Screen Actors Guild cards. Are like Jamie Brewer from American Horror Story. She walked the red carpet at the Emmys. She got interviewed on the red carpet. She did an off-Broadway play. She's a Down syndrome talented actress, worked with Kathy Bates and Jessica Lange on American Horror Story. John Tucker was one of the Born This Way people. He was with Born Act Players too until he got Born This Way, the black rapper, singer, dancer,
Yes.
Haley Versfeld has been on
You had
Born This Way.
several people from Born to Act on Born This Way.
That's right.
I saw the series. I saw everyone. I introduced this is
Wow.
before involved in your Born to Act. I saw everyone. I was so upset when it ended. I introduced my daughter to it. She watched every one of them. And now I realize I'm very honored to work with some of the kids on
Oh yeah.
so but
Well, we're honored to have you, Joan. I'll tell you that.
oh, thank you.
You're such a
very-
blessing to us.
That's very sweet. And I, you know what my feeling is in these interviews with you and Casey and you by yourself is to expand what you have already accomplished. And this cannot be run. And, I'm not at this point, I was always a lot of sales, but this needs to be financed, higher financing in Born to Act. We need to make this organization grow because I've seen what you have done with kids that would not even get on the stage in the beginning. And you have them within a year's time, much less, but a year's time doing a show for people to come to see and enjoy. I'll never forget that time. The first time I see kids that were afraid to get on stage, and then all of a sudden they're doing Shakespeare. They're doing, just unbelievable. I still to this day, and I said it before, was so taken. And I want to even increase the time that I have been doing being assistant here. And I'll tell you something. I'm glad, Casey, you have been to several classes a week, right? You told me it's not only
Yes.
on Saturday or Sunday, but you have what, Monday? Tell me the days
Wednesday?
again.
Yep. Yep. That's right.
Wednesday, he does Wednesday class.
Yep.
And do you help your mom put together some of these classes, or do you help her at all within the class?
Well,
I'm not
I
in
just,
there.
well, that's how I'm having her, and then that way, and I had to teach the kids a good way. Not a bad thing. It's good, and I'm helping them for how we gonna do it. Including our group, doing the same thing. So we had to teach them, and we were good at all the shows, the plays, all different kinds that they have to do. So
The only fear our students have is not enough time on stage, Joan. You know that.
I know that. And
That is true.
I understand that, because once I'm on stage, I could live there for an hour or two. So
Yeah.
I know what that feeling is. So absolutely, I can relate to that. And is there anything else at this point in time that you would like to say, Casey, that you would like to be better for you? Is there something in life that you would like to be better for you at this point of your life?
I just say it's hard to say. I like to do acting right now.
You like acting, you said?
Yeah.
Well, okay, so that'll continue, and as we grow older, I think we become smarter and in the things that we learn. And even though as good as you are, there's always room to improve in everything in life, as we all know. But I'm going to ask you something, Casey, and this is very hard for me to ask, okay? But being an assistant to your mom in Born to Act, I want to ask you, oh boy, how can I be a better assistant? Oh, I'm sorry, we've run out of time. No, I know, I'm asking.
Shame.
Yes. How can I be a better assistant, Casey? Why don't you give me some ideas?
Well, let's put it this way. We'll say I'm having my mom, and that way we the other sisters like a Jerry or Brock or Dad, wherever they are, because they're helping my mom. But some kids, well, yeah, but they don't understand. I'm good and simple. I'm really good because I know about with Jerry or Brock. Another sisters.
We're talking now, excuse me, Casey, I just want to tell the audience that when we're talking about Brock and Jerry, they are very into the assisting part of Born to Act. And, I don't want to go by without saying that while you're talking about them, but they're a wonder, an absolute wonder. And Glenn, your dad, also has been an incredible help and so knowledgeable in Shakespeare. I've become more of a Shakespeare fan since I met your mom and dad. Unbelievable.
We attract the best talent with the biggest hearts and the most incredible, loving people. We attract people that love, everybody and love our kids, embrace our kids.
They know that what love, that word means. A lot of people do not. I want to sign off by saying I thank you both with all my heart for coming on my show.
We're so honored.
It makes it a better show. Not only that, we're going to leave your phone number and a few pictures at the end to show you what you have accomplished. And again, my heartfelt thanks, and to your husband who helps us out here, and to my son-in-law who helps us out make this show work.
Akram, yes, Akram does all of the lighting, sound, the website. He does our DVDs. He's our producer.
All right. Well, we are G.A.S. We always will be, lovingly. And
We love you, Joan. You are so
Love you.
sweet and talented. God bless you
thank
for
you,
doing this.
sweetheart. Thank you to both of you. Thanks so
And to your
much.
son-in-law. Love you. God bless
Thank
you.
you, Casey. See ya.
Hey.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And to our audience, thanks for listening. A very special show today. And see you next week. Okay, great. No problems this
Thank
time.
you, Joan.
Nothing that, well, you're very lucky, Casey, that you got on this one, because your mom had such a hard time the last time. From not being able to get this to, wait a minute, I'm canceling, to be able to get this to work the way it did today. It worked beautifully for you guys. I'm thrilled. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you guys soon, and as soon as I can, I'll deliver a copy. Did you hear me?
Yes.
Say it
Okay.
again, Joan.
No, as soon as this is put together, at least halfway, I'll send you a copy.
Yay.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Take care,
We
guys.
love you, Joan.
Thank you. Love you both so much.
Can't wait to see you live.
Oh, I am, believe it or not, I am live.
I know, but we'll do lunch.
I know, I'm kidding you. Yes, when are we going to do that? I'll talk to you.
Okay,
I'll
darling.
I'll talk to you later this week.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
God bless you. Bye.